Welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we are going to be learn about the arrays in Java. Java provide a data structure, the array which store a fixed size sequential collection of elements of the same type. An array is used to store a collection of data, but it is often more useful to think of an array as a collection of variables of the same type. Instead of declaring an individual variable such as number 0, number 1 and up to so on, you declare one array variable such as number and use number 0 to number 1 and up to so on to present the individual variable. So this lecture introduces how to declare array variable, create array and process array using the index variable. The advantage of the array is first of all a code optimization. It makes the code optimize. We can retrieve or sort the data easily. Then the random access. We can get any data located at any index position. What are the disadvantages of the arrays? First, um, only the one disadvantage, which is size limit. We can store only the fixed size of element in the array. It does not grow its size at the runtime. To solve the problem, collection framework is used in Java. If you want to solve this problem, so you can use the collection framework in is used in Java. So the types of array in Java are, there are two types of array. One is a single dimension array and another one is a multi-dimensional array, which is also called 2D array. So the example of the single dimension array. Let's see the simple example of Java array where we are going to declare and initiate and initialize and traverse in array. So here is a class of single dimension array, and now I just write public, and the public is a static void main, and main here is a string and arguments. Then I just write int a, and int a here is the array which is equal to new integer, and the array size here is 5. So this is a single dimensional array. So I just declare here and initialize an array here. Now I just initialize array, so index number 0, so which is a value of 10, then a, and index number 1, so I just keep the value 20, then a, index number 3, and the value is 30, then a, the index number 4, and the value here is 50, and then a, and the index number 5, and the value here is 100. So these are our 5 index what we create here, new int and the 5 index array. Okay, so we are initialize this array here. So now I just printing array. So I just use the for statement, for loop here. So for int I which is equal to 0, and then I is less than a dot length. Okay, and then I plus plus. So the length is property of an array, so that's why I just give it the length. So system dot out dot print line, and then a and I. Okay, so our single dimension array is completed here. So I just run this code, so it's static, and I just close this, And now, so this is not give me the output, correct output. I think there is an error in the compiler, but this is a process of declaring a single dimension array. Now we just turn to the multi-dimensional array in Java. So let's see how the multi-dimensional array works. Here I just write static and sorry, it's public static void main and then a string and arguments. Now I just write int and int here, so a which is equal to, and then I just write 1 2 3 and I just close with the curly brackets, and then 4 5 6. Okay, and then here I just write 7. Okay, so this is our multi-dimensional array, which is 1 2 3 4 5 6 and at the last 7. And here I just write 8. Okay, now here I just write system dot out dot print and the print line here. So here I just write length and length of row 1, and here's a plus and 0. So we have the 0 indexed here, so I just write length and then I just copy this. So system dot out print line and row number 2 and at the last row number 3, index number 1 and index number 2 here. Now I just run this program. So run, so you can see the length of row 1 is 3. We have the 3 index in this length, and then the length of row 2 is 4. We have 4 index here, and at the last the length of 3 is 1 because we have 3 index here. Now we just see the example of one dimensional array because our last example was not working properly, so I just decide to do one another example. So here I just write integer and I array and then which is equal to new integer. Okay, and it's a 3 here. And now I just write I array and then 0 and which is equal to 1. So this is the index number 1. Now I array and the index number 2 here is 2, and then I array and the index number 3 here is 3. And then now here I just initialize an array here, and here I just declare of allocation memory of to an array. Now I just display the array elements. So system dot out dot print line. So here is system dot out dot print line, and then I write I array and the index size is 0 here. Okay, so I just close this, and this is not a comment, so I just remove this quotation here, and this is array. Okay, and it's in index 0. Now I just copy this, paste 1 and 2 time because we have the 3 index here, so index number 1 and index number 2. So index number 2. Now I just use the for loop to display the animal in elements. So here I just write int I which is equal to 0, and then I just write I which is length, and length of I array. Okay, and I is I array, and here I just write dot length. Okay, and I is equal to I plus 1. Then here I just write system dot out dot print line, and the print line here is I array, and the array here is I, and then system dot out dot print line, and here is an empty string. And I forget to add the public and public static void main, and then a string here and arguments. So now, and here is the error of array, and it's I array, array, and array. Now I just run this code. So you can see the example of means 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, and 3, which is the index of the array, which is index 1, 2, 3, and then 1 space 2 space 3. You can see the string, empty string here. So these are the single dimensional array and the multi-dimensional array in Java. Thanks for watching this lecture. See you